as well as give it an additional power. We know in the movie that when it touched anything, it took basically any caring, any loving out of the character. Basically any feelings out of that character. I think if they were to bring this back, they need to take it a step further. And they need to take it a step further that when a character gets touched by it, like let's say one of the ponies gets touched by it, they turn into shmoos. And they merge with the shmoos, and the only way to free them is to defeat the shmoos. Or they become shmoos-like creatures that, okay, it has kind of brainwashed mind control and all that, that when they become shmoos-like, they get absorbed into the shmoos and become one with it, and then if they're let loose by the shmoos, they only are let loose to attack their fellow friends, and then they go back into the shmoos. You kind of get the idea, and the only way to free them is to beat the shmoos once and for all. Another thing I think they need to do as well is to do an additional power-up for the ponies. You got to bring back the rainbow. You got to bring back that rainbow power, whatever, that rainbow of light. You got to bring that back. You got to bring that back. You really got to bring that back in a sense and make that basically be like the one thing that's really going to help out in the end. You really got to do that. You really have to. I mean, if you're going to continue this movie on into the series, if the series is going to continue on, you got to bring that in. What else? I think another thing that they need to do for the movie, more specifically, is allow the ponies, then basically the main six, to evolve. We see how tall Luna is, Princess Cestria. We see how big Luna, Princess Celestria, Candace. We see how big they are. Okay, we see how big they are. So my thing is, if you're going to have this be a continuation, have this be a continuation of the series, you need to give them a huge power boost for the movie, that if the series continues on afterwards, that later on in the series, depending on what season, you're going to see that power boost again. And that power boost is to have them basically evolve to where they grow temporarily to the same size as Celestria and her fellow princesses, and thus they gain more powers. They become more powerful, and just powerful enough to defeat whatever enemy is in front of them. Give them that kind of a power boost. As well as do something temporarily to where if they face an enemy in the movie that's too much even for them at that stage, have them fuse into one pony with Twilight that's so powerful it ends up being the only thing that can beat them. But always throw in that possibility, that hint of, you guys can fuse, but you can't stay like that for too long, or else you're going to end up becoming just one. Well, kind of throw in that kind of possibility. But these are things, like I said, that need to be put into the movie if it's going to be continuing on into the series again. If the series is going to continue on, these are things that need to be put into the movie. They really do. So, hold on for a second. Again, like I said, these are things that I truly believe need to be added into the movie if the movie is going to continue on, if the series, I should say, is going to continue on after the movie. If it's going to be an in-continuity movie, just like the original MLP was, because let's not forget, End of Flood Valley, which was a 5-parter, or aka 10-parter, depending on how you look at it, was the sequel and continuation from MLP the movie back in 1986. Just like Transformers the movie was a continuation into the 3rd season of Transformers, and somewhat like I said, G.I. Joe was the G.I. Joe movie, even though originally supposed to be a finale, was a continuation into the DiC series back in 89 and 88, 89, and 90. So, anyway, that's what I think they should do if they decide the movie's going to be an in-continuity movie that continues into the series after the movie is over. Again, these are just things I think they should do if it's just going to be a bridging of one season into another. But if it's the finale, if this movie is it for Generation 4, like I say, they need to go out with a bang. They need to make the story very memorable. They need to make the characters memorable. They need to do a lot of things. They need to get Spike and Rarity together. I think that's what fans want to see. They need to get that done. They should do it if they got a plan for the movie, and the movie's the finale, do it in the movie. They need to make Twilight full grown, basically the same size as Celestia, Luna, and Candace, if you will. Make her that size, to where maybe this is her, maybe with the movie finale, like this is it for her, like she's going to walk off and be part of the princesses now, and they're going to go into another world or something like that. I don't know. Just do something that's going to allow her to finally achieve full-fledged princessing or whatever. Show that she has been the chosen one the whole time. Go in that direction. I think you really need to allow the movie to wrap up a lot of things, a lot of loose ends, and answer a lot of questions that fans have. I think that's what you need to do. To me, that's what you have to do with the finale. Some of the things that I mentioned, but also just wrap it up by having a grand adventure and basically allowing the movie to, like I say, answer all those questions that fans have, and you'll just wrap it up that way. If the movie's going to be the finale for the series. So that's all I'm going to say, folks. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll talk to y'all later.